Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero reaction. Today we have the Miasmic Fiend boss theme. Apparently this one is diabolical, according to the comment that recommended it, so that's an interesting take. I have no clue what that's going to sound like coming out of this game. So far, I've only heard bangers, and even the one that I would assume is kind of a little bit more creepy was the last one I did, and that was like bass housey. So like, I don't know what this might be, but I guess I won't know if I don't listen. So without further ado, let's go. Okay. So immediately the sound design is hitting that creepy factor. Oh. Yeah, they really are putting the pressure on. Lots of dissonance in this, lots of it. But it makes me wonder what this is gonna turn into. Unless it like stays with this vibe, which would be really intriguing. I'm kind of waiting for there to be a drop, but I don't know if there will be. It's like, I don't know which one's better. The context of the video is wild, though. That would be terrifying, so I understand the theme. See, like all this, there's like chaos to it. Things clashing and layering over each other. Oh my god. We got blast beats in here? It's like deathcore and hardcore had a baby. Oh. Oh, that was filthy. God, they're really playing into those dissonance really, really hard. As they should, but good lord. Yeah, just really sitting on those. These like siren sound designs with the synths. Interesting choice. Adding to that the need to get this done and over with, like the urgency of it all. See, like the intervals here too. Just constantly fighting itself. And now we're slowing it down. Never mind. Back to the blast beats. That's what they did for a transition. And this like nuts. Just constantly on there. The speed on that double pedal is ridiculous. Those like broken djenty chords too. I love that in the drums they're adding samples in for like the snare too, not just having the drums in there, but adding a little bit of that synthetic tone for the EDM side of this. That's nuts. That is completely different from anything I've heard from them so far. Well, that was the first time I've been disturbed by this game. I mean, the music was really cool, but at the same time, it did its job. It made me unsettled. Like when it first started and I saw what was coming after me, like I said, that would be terrifying if I saw that thing. Hell no. Hell no. Get back in the hole. I don't want to see you anymore. That is terrifying. But also just the theme itself is so reflective of that. It's adding every possible opportunity to make itself sound more dissonant, more creepy, to add more of that tension. Every single time there was any room to add tension, they did. This entire song basically was fighting itself all the way through. All of the layering, all the different sounds, none of them really worked together. Even the overall melody of this really wasn't working with itself. The harmonies aside, the melody was very off-kilter. None of it was normal. It was very chromatic. It wasn't following normal chords, expected things. You know, whole and minor chords maybe are in there somewhere, but you can't really tell. It just sounds like somebody randomly flailing about in different instruments. And that's kind of, I think, the point here, to get that vibe out of there, because this thing is clearly just kind of chaos incarnate, and there's no real sense to it. So why would the theme for it have any sense to it, you know? It just makes you feel like something's wrong, something's dangerous, you need to take care of this immediately or get the fuck out, whichever comes first. And they were obviously trying to leave, and that wasn't really an option. So they had to fight it, you know? I wouldn't want to be near this thing for longer than I had to be either. But I believe this is the first time I've heard this specific blend of things, the EDM elements in here being blended with the like heavy metal stuff, like that really dark metal, like black metal or death metal stuff in there. That was just constant blast beats in there, just tension. Again, lots of minor chords that were in that section during the blast beat portion, just really layering on there. And then when it started going into the chugs too, just to slow you back down and remind you that while this is a very stressful moment and you need to have your energy there, you also need time to breathe. So they let you have that moment. And then when they slowed it down before the loop happened, that was a really, really cool way to transition back to the beginning of the loop, because I thought something was going to change and we were going to get a different phase or something. But no, it just decided to go back, and that's totally fine. I actually really like that, to pull back the lethargy of the song just to allow it a little bit more room to kind of be like, are we done? No, we're not. Back to it, square one. And you just have to deal with it over and over again. That is so awful in the best way. Again, this is a very different sound for them. I don't know if they've ever done this before or are going to do it again, but just in a way, having just this theme be its own and have nothing like it ever again, or a character like this ever again, would be super cool. Just as far as the story goes, just making this its one thing, like where the hell did that come from? Where did it go? Are we ever gonna know? That might never happen, and I honestly think it would be cooler if we never learn, because leaving that in the air is probably more scary than fighting it and then learning what happened with it. I know they're probably going to explain it in the story, but at the same time, part of me hopes that they don't, because there's definitely that psychological thrill to not knowing what the fuck that was. And making a theme like this that sounds completely different from the rest with no explanation and no further evolution to it either. either. So that, at least in my opinion, would be the better way to do it. It would be cooler, but they've got to do something with it. I'm sure that if they haven't already answered the question, they are going to very shortly. But you know, I can dream, I can have my thoughts, of course, but it's not like I play the game right now anyways, so who am I to say? You know, it's just my own personal thoughts about what it could be. I think that that would be pretty neat to have a theme like this be so different from a character and a creature that is so different, and then never answer those questions. But you know, I've been yapping about this for a while, so I will call it here. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to, by all means drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. And if you haven't seen me mention it anywhere else, I actually have a merch collaboration up with Ippo TSK, who made some art that we've put on shirts and sweatshirts and, you know, a bunch of apparel stuff, but also posters and like AirPods cases, which I didn't know I could make. We have an acrylic keychain coming at some point. Those take a little bit longer to produce. There'll be a limited edition thing. So if you're interested in supporting either of us, both of us, or just seeing what's there, you can check out my store link in the description, or you can find it on my channel, or just go to catharsisyt.store and you can see what I have available. But if you're not interested in any of that and you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!